So today we're going to talk about my theory as to why I think we are getting fatter. Welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me here today on the Millennium Falcon. Awesome place to be taking the video. So I see that we are getting fatter, more obese, more overweight over the years, and statistics are backing this. So I wanted to do a video as to why I personally think we are getting fatter. Now, I haven't done research on this, but what I want to do is make this video first and then research it to see if what I'm thinking is actually backed by science out there, because this is just my own theory. And I'm going to talk about specifically two populations, one in Europe and one here in Australia over the last few decades, and how they have transformed their shape generally. So let's talk about the 70s. Or firstly, let's talk about where these populations are. So I'm talking namely in Greece and in Australia, specifically Melbourne. So let's talk about the 70s. 70s, everybody pretty much looked the same. And that's okay. 80s, kind of about the same, yeah. 90s, we started seeing a transition. Well, I started seeing a transition. People in Australia getting a lot fatter than the people over in Greece. And there was an incident that came to mind when I went over there. And my uncle said to me, I thought I was looking fine. And my uncle said to me, Betty, you know what? I want to tell you something. You're getting a bit fat. I was taken back by that. I was young. I'm like, no, I think I look all right. I look fine. But I had put on some kilos, and compared to the Greek women my age at that time, I was bigger. Not fat, not even overweight. I was still perfect BMI and all of that, but I was bigger. Then we're coming into the 2000s, the noughties. It started being a difference. And now, what I'm seeing is that I actually stumbled across this from a video that Dr. Goldhammer had put up. And I saw that Australia was right next to Greece in terms of the same rate of obesity and being overweight. And I thought, what has happened? What has happened to bring us into alignment? There was a difference. Now what we're seeing, we're aligned, apparently, the statistics show. And I actually, I did do some of my, because I saw it there in one Goldhammer's videos, and I thought, what? And I did my own research, and sure enough, that was right. So what's happened? I want to talk about shopping habits now. So we've seen the journey over the decades. Now let's talk about shopping habits. In the 70s and 80s, I remember when I was going to Greece, I remember the shops that my auntie would take my mum to, and they were quite small. They were like your sort of little local grocer. Very small. I remember the aisles being so small, and I was young, but I still remember the aisles being so small and trying to squeeze through. And I thought, okay, this is normal. Our shopping centres, our supermarkets were a little bit bigger, but not by much. I remember in the 80s, we used to go to this, they were smaller. They weren't as big as today. My family would just buy the necessities. So I remember very rarely getting chips and barbecue shapes. I didn't have them all the time. Now, what I'm seeing is our supermarkets here are massive and they're wonderful. You go in, there's all this food. But if you look very closely, you go aisle by aisle, you can see, is it all food that we should be eating? Some of this food can be stored on the shelves for months or even years. Is it food we should be eating? So there's that. Then it talk about what's happened over in Greece. I've been hearing, because I haven't been there lately, but I've been hearing that they don't go to supermarkets like they used to. They will go to an Aldi or what they call a Lidl's, and it's a supermarket like we have here. A bit bigger, more variety. Or at least you have your staples, and you have those lot of your biscuits, your cereals, your lollies, crackers, etc., etc. And I'm thinking, is that what has happened? Is it the fact that we have these bigger supermarkets with more of this refined food readily available and so cheap? I did a video recently and I reviewed the Coles catalogue. I will do a review on Aldi, not that I shop at Aldi much, but and Woolworths. I'm not, as I said, I appreciate our supermarkets, don't get me wrong, but I'm not dedicated to one particular supermarket. I shop everywhere, and I shop to where's convenient for me. So, and specifically when I'm at which gym I'm working at. So if I'm working at, one gym, I will go to the supermarket there. If I'm going to another gym, I will go to the supermarket there. Or if I'm dropping off my kids somewhere, I will go to the supermarket there. So that's what I do. I don't dedicate myself, and I'm not loyal to any chain or supermarket, and I do appreciate having the variety. But in saying that, if you look at what's on the shelves, we shouldn't be eating most of that. We shouldn't be eating most of it. So, to sum up my theory, I think that us getting fatter is correlated directly with the size of our supermarkets and the amount of processed food available in our supermarkets. Now I'm going to do my research on it and see if my theory holds up. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed being on the Millennium Falcon. betiPT, signing out.